Hey guys, so I wanted to bring something to your attention, and it is root for the USS9, model number sm-g960u, and I wanted to bring this to your attention, and really everybody who watches this, I wanted to bring it to their attention, so that we might be able to find root for this phone. I found it while searching the web for a couple of things, just searching it for root for the phone, because I really wanted to know if we had found it yet. And I found a couple of things that might be able to help us. One of the things that I wanted to point out was that there are some bumps for me to test it out. So I am sorry, but I have not tested this, nor do I know if it'll work 100% or anything. But yeah, so let's get started. So first off, there are two ways that I think we could do it. They're pretty similar, but they are different. So the first one that I found was that I was searching the web for a root method, and first thing I came across was this combination ROM for the S9 sm-g960u, and it claimed that it gave the phone OEM unlock. I pushed it aside. I was like, okay, this probably won't work. Or it might, but anyways, I pushed it aside. And I didn't think much of it until I came across this next article. And it was for the G960u. And so you might be thinking right now, oh, this won't work. Well, hold on a second. Keep watching and let me explain. So I looked it up and I looked into it, and I was like, how basically to unlock the bootloader of the S9. And so this article pops up, and it's for the G9600, so it's for the Chinese version of the S9. But, sorry, I'm outside, so there's bees all over the place. Anyways, so I come across it, and basically what it says is that, you can unlock the bootloader if you have OEM unlock and C-ROM, the C-ROM service. Yeah. And if you have those two things, you can unlock the bootloader for the Chinese version. Now, the Chinese version, yes, is written differently, but it's not like we are trying to rewrite anything for the G960u. We're only trying to unlock the bootloader. And so I don't see why it wouldn't work. Because all you really have to do is enable OEM unlock, put C-ROM service on, and then use C-ROM service to unlock the bootloader. So I looked at that and I was like, oh, I could work, I could put these together. But then I was like, oh wait, but then I still won't be able to root. And that's when I came across the next forum or article or whatever you want to call it. It was on XDA forums. And it was a root method for the Zynos S9 using Magisk. Well, I read through it, and I read the forum, and I read the comments on it and stuff and all of that. And from what I read, one person asked on the forum, is this for Snapdragon or just Zynos? And nobody answered for a little while. And then somebody answers the question. And the answer to the question was if we could get the Snapdragon bootloader unlocked, then we could use that root method with the Snapdragon. That's when it all clicked together. I was like, oh shit. I could use the combination ROM to get OEM unlock and put the C-ROM service on an SD card so that I could install it onto the phone through the SD card. And then I could use C-ROM service and have the OEM unlock on and unlock the bootloader. And then once I unlock the bootloader, then I can root the phone. Well, there was an issue with that. So the issue was that the combination ROM. First of all, I can't remember. My memory's a little foggy about it because I worked with it a while ago. It was like, I think a few weeks ago. So my memory's a little foggy about it. But anyways, I can't remember if it gave you files or not. If it gave you the option to look at your files and your SD and what's on your SD card or whatever. And so I was going to try it again and stuff, and that didn't work out. So, and it wasn't because of there not being files, it was because I don't have any computers right now. So I couldn't really check it. So anyways, the second issue was that once you put the combination ROM on, let's say it does have files, and you are able to have OEM unlock the bootloader, and root the phone. Well, the combination ROM changes the look of the phone, and it doesn't make it look stock. So I put on XDA forums and I was like, how can I get from the combination ROM back to stock? And nobody really told me much. And I was like, well, okay, so that's not gonna work. And so I kept on looking. Here's where the second method comes in. The second method is using an ENG boot I found and using that to get OEM unlock. Now, the only thing is that the ENG boot that I found doesn't give much information about it on the site that it is on. And that kind of worries me. But if I had a computer, I would flash it anyways. But I do not, again. Sorry, but I do not. So anyways, from what I saw, from what information it did give, it is for the G960U, and it is also, it also had a video attached right below the actual download button. And it said how to enable OEM unlock. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, that must mean that it gives you the option for OEM unlock. Now again, haven't tried it, so I do not know. But anyways, I saw that and I was like, okay. And the method is to use that, get OEM unlock. If I needed an SD card, I would have used one. But if I didn't, then just get sm-g960u service. And do it that way. Unlock the bootloader through that. And then root it. Voila, it's rooted, you know? And I don't know if the engineering boot changes the look of the phone or not, because again, I have not flashed it. And I'm sorry that I keep bringing that up, but it's a really sad thing that happened. I'll explain what happened later, but so I cannot flash it, and that's that. So I don't know if it changes the look of the phone or anything. So if it does, we would need to figure out how to change it back to stock look, to how it looked before. And personally, I don't know how to do that. Now, disclaimer, or not exactly a disclaimer, but just for your guys' knowledge, I am nowhere near a developer. I have not developed anything for Android or anything like that. I am just a 17-year-old boy, as you can see, who was looking even after the developers had stopped. So I don't have any knowledge of development or anything like that. So all I encourage you guys to do is to check it out, or think about it, not check it out, unless you guys comment and ask for me to put the links. Then think about it and think about if it'll work. So that's all I really encourage you guys to do. You guys can test it out. I would encourage that. But I will not put the links in the description. I will only put them in the comments if I get enough comments asking for the links. So anyways, how I cannot flash them. Let's talk about that for a second. So both my computers are broken. I have two computers. Pretty shitty luck, right? Well, I have a little red Dell laptop, what the fuck? I have a little Dell laptop. And, you know, I was, I don't know how this happened or anything, but I was gonna use that to do this at first, because my, other laptop was broken at that point. And, so I was gonna use my little red Dell laptop, and it stopped working. Just all of a sudden, it wouldn't charge. Well, I knew that there was already something wrong with it, and that was that the headphone jack was messed up, because at one point I tripped over when I had it hooked up. I tripped over the cord when I had it hooked up, and it kind of fell. I caught the computer, so the computer screen and all that inside's pretty much okay. So I caught the computer, it didn't fall on the ground, and it was a pretty high height, so I'm pretty happy that it didn't fall on the ground, because if it would have been a goner, but it didn't, so I'm really happy about that, or I was happy about that. And now there's a new issue, and the new issue is that it won't charge. It just won't charge. And if I can get the charger in there right, in just the right position, then it'll turn on, but once I get it to turn on, it's super duper slow. And so I don't know what to do with that one, because I can't fix it. I don't know inside of laptops or anything. So I'm kind of fucked when it comes to that. Now to talk about my other computer. My other computer, I was sitting there one day and I was setting up a fan that would go in my room. And I was setting it up, and my backpack was laying down flat on the ground with my laptop in it. I know, it sounds stupid. But get this, I was tired and I didn't want to really have to care about my backpack. So I just threw it somewhere. Anyways, I'm setting up the fan and I stepped back and I accidentally stepped on the screen of my bigger computer. It is a big black Toshiba computer. I don't know the model number of either of my computers or anything like that, but it's a big black Toshiba computer, and it's now got a fucked up screen. So yeah. So that's how my computers are broken. And so, yeah, that's also how I think we could root the USA S9 model number sm-g960u. Before I go, though, I wanted to make a shout out to my good friend and his YouTube channel. My good friend CJ, he's got a YouTube channel. It's in some different language. I'm guessing Korean or Japanese or something like that. And so, unless you're Korean or something and you know the name and you know how to spell it and say it and type it in, it'll be a little bit hard for people like me to figure out what his name is and how to spell it and how to do it and stuff. So I will leave a link in the description, and this will be the only link, I think. Yeah, I'll just make it the only link that I'll put in the description. Actually, no, I'm going to put 2 links in the description. One to my Patreon, and one to his channel. Sorry, I know, very confusing. Anyways, that is all. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. See ya.